People say you slow down as you get older, but I'm living proof that's not the case. Cast your mind back to younger me. 14th December 2019, I had just run a 5K, the fastest 5K ever at 90 minutes and 31 seconds. Now, today's date being the 19th of March 2025, I've done a 5K just whimsically on a Wednesday morning, decided to do so, and have run it months before turning 29, 1908. My second effort of going sub 19. And I want to share with you how, like me, you can also conquer aging and also conquer your fast self that you ever thought possible. Now I'm going to break that down for you in this video. The first step is consistency. Back in 2019, I had the singular goal of going under 20 minutes. My runs weren't that many in retrospect, and as soon as I achieved that goal, that was it. I didn't really have much of a build-up of training. I just kind of trained for a bit, did it, and then that was it. Whereas now, I've done so many runs, starting all the way back in, I believe it was 2024 early, and even part of 2023, and just continually running and running and running. I built it into more of a daily routine, and I like to think that it's made the difference, which turns me to my next point, the tortoise and the hare. Not only have I been more regimented with my running in terms of discipline, I've also married that with the idea of having specific runs targeted at specific things and believing in the hard work. So, for example, my first element is the turtle runs. Turtle runs constitute your easy runs. They're a run that you should be able to do where you're able to have a chat with a friend. They should not feel overtly difficult, but the idea is we're going to keep doing those to build our zone 2, build our overall fitness, so we can basically over time bring that down without it feeling like it's a workout, if that makes sense. This takes me to the second element of my types of runs, the tempo runs with a race-like finish. This is something I'd only discovered in mid-2024, as I like the idea of doing interval runs, but I'd kept subjecting myself to the threat and risk of injury. So with that being said, I decided let's take a different approach. I was going to run a little bit slower than race pace, what's called a tempo pace. Tempo threshold, they're interchangeable. But then at the very last K, or 500 meters, because I'd increase it by 500 meters, run as fast as I could, lay it all there, have the most powerful interval to, practice what it's going to look like when you cross that finish line and you have your heroic pose. It's the visualization, so to speak, that does that, but also reaffirms the fact in your mind by doing it over and over and over again at training. You can harness it when you know you need to. The idea of emptying out the tank, giving your all when you thought you were out. That is something that has been crucial to today's effort. Then, this takes me to the third type of run, long runs. I had just done 15 Ks at 5 minutes and 8 seconds for a whole average, running from here all the way to the beach. And I thought that was impossible if you'd asked me that 6 months ago. Long runs are not just for marathoners. They're for 5Ks too. It's crucial to build so much more within you, like a massive orange. So then when you squeeze that, so much more juice can come out because you're so much quicker. You can utilize all that growth if you're running. It's good because you've got 3 types of runs that you're gauging the progress. So when one of them you're starting to plateau, you get faith because the other one you'll still be making some level of progress. And this then takes me to the next point, the power of a race shoe. Having race shoes ready, the right type of race shoes, saving them for when you need them, helps you kick to that other gear that you can just absolutely crush it. I had my Vaporfly 2s, which is just behind me there in orange. They're the fastest shoe for a half marathon and below, which includes 5Ks, 10Ks, 12Ks, whatever. They're your fastest, lightest, most amazing shoe. Saving them for that really helped me kick into another gear. It helped my legs feel lighter and faster than they ever felt before. But then there's one more element, an element that underpins all of this that can only come through your long runs, tempo runs, and easy runs. It's understanding your area, where you are. For me in Adelaide, I'd come to the realization that a park not too far away from here is simply the best place to set your fastest time ever for distances of 5, 10Ks, 12Ks, whatever. It's something very easy. Why is that? It's a quiet park. One loop's almost exactly a kilometer. So visually, you can see that you just have to do 5 laps of this. It's quiet. The sprinklers are turned off. The morning conditions were perfect. They were cold. There was 16 degrees. I'll put the thing up on the screen. And that helped me, dial into it. No one was on the path and to dodge people. It's just all about utilizing the path for that very purpose. I used to try for my first attempt for sub 19, do it in a park run for a park run I'd never done before on a hot day, and it was just an absolute mess. I learned from that, I refined the process, and here I was running it at that speed. But it kind of made me thought, what about the last 8 seconds? And that's what I wanted to make this video about. You can still push and still go further. Let me reflect on how I could have done those 8 seconds faster, because between the 3rd and 4th K, that was the difference. That was where I slowed down enough that if I could pinpoint and go back and fix that, that would have sorted it. But how could I have fixed that exactly? Well, a couple of things. One, I could have ran shirtless. I ran with a quarter zip, which is about 100 to maybe 150 grams. Every gram counts. Body builds up heat. All these things affect you. Running shirtless is the fastest thing possible. Next, beetroot shots. Beetroot shots that have 400 milligrams of nitrates result in delaying the onset of metabolic fatigue, meaning your legs feeling heavy and jelly-like. Another element that would have helped me push even further into that 3rd and 4th K would have helped a great deal more. I also realized that the first K was going really quick. Tried to slow that down a little bit, not to get too ahead of myself. That was crucial. But then there's another element I'd like to bring up. It's the phone. It turns out on this watch I got, it can have music. If I pre-uploaded music to here, didn't have my phone with me, phone's about 100 grams, that would have also made a difference too in weight. It's just these little things that reflecting is important to help you understand how you can conquer your next effort and conquer life in the process. Look, I want to show you this right now. So the run itself today, history today. So today, there you go. It says 19:10, but there's an extra second for the 6th K, but basically it's 19 minutes and 8 seconds. I'll put the Strava thing up there. That is how basically it's not about getting older and that you're getting slower. I think that's a falsely held belief, and it gives people the excuse to slack off and not pursue their best version of themselves. And I want to prove this to you as a testament that it can be done. Me waking up on a day like today, not even with the best sleep, sleep's another factor, but I decided to make a choice in the moment to push for a 5K on a random Wednesday, and I not only smashed it, but I'd ran faster than I ever thought possible back then and now. And here's another underpinning secret. I wasn't even focused on beating my time of 19:31. I was focused on breaking 19. And by doing that and not breaking it, I'd realized I was disappointed in myself for a little bit of time until I realized how fast I'd actually gone. But that's the difference. If you'd like to learn more about how I've managed to do this, I've got lots of videos covering running and my journey in this YouTube channel, or do more videos focused around how you can get to this level as well. And I will soon be documenting how I feel, when I break sub 19, because I know I'm on the door. Conquer mountains, conquer life,